As we mentioned in our video on the backwards law, philosophers have theorised that humans feel an insatiable longing in their souls. It manifests as an emptiness, a desire to complete themselves and find what they are lacking. It is also theorised that we are impulsive and mindlessly driven to seek gratification, but can never find it. Therefore, people will spend their lifetime seeking pleasure to distract themselves from this nagging feeling that they are not whole. In the past, society had a much more linear route to take when it came to trying to fill this void. If you hungered for something, it was usually a physical payoff. This could be addiction to alcohol, drugs, or overeating. You may have been a thrill seeker, choosing roller coasters, dangerous activities, extreme sports, living on the edge. Psychologically, you would have been looking for that fulfilment and also a dopamine hit. In modern times, increasing in parallel with our use of social media, humans are experiencing what is known as FOMO, F-O-M-O, fear of missing out. This has always been part of the human condition, but usually in a small way. Our ancestors may have felt disappointed that they weren't invited to a social event, or they may have felt slightly angry if they missed out on a bargain purchase for an expensive item like a chest of drawers or a dining table. In small doses, it's a natural instinct to feel that you have missed out on something that was enjoyable or would have benefited you. However, in the 21st century, this background, short-lived disappointment has morphed into a full-blown mental illness and negative personality trait. Recent studies show that fear of missing out can cause long-term issues for our mental well-being. The feeling of being left out or losing out on a good thing doesn't only last a few minutes or a few hours, it can hang around in our mind for days, weeks, and even months. This video will explore the complex facets of FOMO and also provide you with some strategies which may help you or a loved one who is suffering. So, the first thing that we must delve into is the actual feeling itself. We understand that the side effects can be that you believe you are being alienated, you are lonely, depressed, anxious, and even angry. But what is it about missing out that you really fear? Is it the event or item itself that you believe will complete your life, make your life better in some way, or be enjoyable? Therefore, when you miss the opportunity to attend the function or buy the product, you feel upset because your life has not been improved. Or maybe, if you look deeper, that aspect is just the surface of FOMO. Deep down, it could be that you don't want to have to address other factors that may force you to adjust the way you currently live and think, and even your personal relationships. Here is a simple example. You are invited to a barbecue garden party with a small group of your closest friends. It's on the weekend, but you have to work. You'll be done by 4 p.m. at the latest. Your friends tell you that this is a lunchtime function and they don't want to shift it to the evening. They have no reason not to change the time other than the fact that they are all off work already and want to start eating and drinking earlier in the day. What is giving you the fear about missing out on this situation? Are you annoyed and worried that you are missing out on conversations? Will you miss out on photo opportunities with your friends? Do you really want that awesome food? Or maybe it's not the event that you are concerned about missing. It's the fact that your friends are going ahead without you that has caused you some emotional pain. They weren't willing to consider changing their plans to accommodate you, and now you are left behind. This means that you will need to acknowledge, on some level, that your friends may not be as close to you as you once imagined. Then, you have further ethical questions, such as, what would you do in their situation? This leads on to wondering if you are a selfish person. So, of course, it's much easier to shut that train of thought down quickly and assume that fear of missing out is simply disappointment that you are working and missing a fun garden party. If we look at social media and its role within FOMO, you can easily track stories, highlights, and happiness. People receive likes, validation, and comments on things that they post. These are literal icons that represent feelings such as a heart for love on Instagram or a thumbs up for a good job on Facebook. As a viewer, you may feel that you are passively scrolling through a gallery of images from your friends, when in reality, your brain is attaching value to the content. In this way, you see that your friends or family are taking part in an event, no matter how small. You are likely to see happy photos, emojis, and validation from a wide social audience online. You associate this with good things and subconsciously with self-worth. If you are not part of this day trip, this restaurant experience, this party, whatever it may be, you end up comparing your own life to the photos in front of you, and of course, you will instinctively feel that you have missed out. I fear that I do not have what others have. But if they do not have it in the first place, then I'm okay not to have it either. This statement means that if the choice is taken away, it gives a false sense of relief. Take the pandemic, for example. During lockdown or reduced social activity, people were simply posting photographs from home, making public posts that all they had done was watch TV and eaten chips. As an onlooker, if you have also not achieved anything that day, you can fool yourself into feeling better because you do not have to hold yourself to someone else's standard. You feel there is nothing to miss out on. This does not solve your underlying issue. It simply masks it. For as soon as life returned to normal, cases of people suffering from FOMO increased again. Comparison is the thief of joy. President Roosevelt. This statement is true. You see, in modern life, we are technically missing out on hundreds of things every day. There are just so many choices, so many things available to us in every part of our world that we can never always pick the best options. So, worrying and agonizing over missing out is actually futile. If you are always comparing yourself to others, you will never be happy because there is simply no way to create a perfect world where everyone's journey is the same. We are individuals. We react to situations uniquely. We also have our own preferences and opinions. In the case of FOMO, the pleasure you gain from your current situation pales in comparison to the things you think you are missing out on. This is because humans love to focus on the negative aspects of life. The dissatisfaction to what we currently have and the need to be better have been an essential component to our species evolving. A simple way to shift our appetite for bigger, better, and materialist values is to focus on what we already have in a positive light. How often have you heard people say, "Count your blessings," or "Be grateful for what you've got"? These sayings have been with us for centuries, and they're actually a key component to being happy. A great example of being content with what you have is a baby. Have you ever seen a baby explore their surroundings? They have no measure of comparison. This is something that we instill in them as they grow older. You can give a baby a cardboard box, a stick, a clump of grass, an apple, a seashell, or simply show them their reflection, and they will be happy. The thing they have right there and then is all that matters, and it brings them joy because they see its value without measuring it up against another object. One of the significant issues that humans come up against as they grow into current society is that there is a strong, overwhelming herd mentality. As you find your place in a social group, you can be swayed by the people around you, guiding your focus to things that they collectively feel are important. For instance, the Nazi movement grew so quickly because large numbers of people were convinced of its party ideals, and this in turn pulled others in. seeing whole villages sign up and host exciting street parties and events. In some cases, there were people that were easily led into joining such a strong movement simply because their neighbours were involved and they felt they were missing out on something better. So how can we overcome these desires, disappointments and anxieties? You'll be pleased to know that the starting steps are simple and anyone can do them. Firstly, begin to make a list of things that you are thankful for in your life. Save this somewhere that is easily accessible. You may want to use your phone, or maybe even stick it to the front of your fridge where you can see it every day. Try not to make sweeping statements and say you have nothing to be grateful for. If you have time to watch this video, then you can be thankful for at least one thing. You have chosen to spend a few minutes improving your knowledge and investing in yourself. Secondly, be practical. This can apply to the big things in life, like financial debt, your job, housing situation, etc. And it can also apply to the way you approach your interpersonal relationships. Focus on what you need to do to make yourself happy, and realise that this may take a while, but as long as you keep moving forward, inch by inch, you will be improving your situation. When you are presented with an opportunity, be it social or material, think about how practical it is. For example, you are advertised a new pair of shoes in your social media feed. You have plenty of shoes, but these look amazing and you love the brand. Now take a second to be mindful, to be practical. If your current shoes are falling apart or have some defect, then of course you can consider purchasing this new pair you've seen. Yet, if your shoes are fine, think about why your impulse was to buy these ones. Be practical. Be sensible. The money you save on not buying the shoes can be invested elsewhere and help you on your life journey. To you, it might seem like only $60, but what else could you do with that? Invest, give to charity, plan ahead with your meals for the week, pay off some of your debt, or maybe even help out a struggling friend. Start realising that it's okay to be happy with what you have. It can be difficult to maintain this approach to life, but after a while it will become second nature, and the best thing is, you will impulsively start to make sensible choices that protect your happiness, as well as help you develop as a person. It's fine to feel a little disappointed every now and again. That's how we know we're human. Just don't let that emotion grow into a monster which kills your contentment. If you have enjoyed this video and you're inspired by what you've seen, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Let's change the world together.